The Stone Age. Sounds rough, right? It was. But it was also a time of incredible human ingenuity. Imagine a world without supermarkets, smartphones, or even houses. That's the Stone Age. Our ancestors survived, even thrived for thousands of years, using only what nature provided. They were the ultimate survivalists, relying on their wits, strength, and a deep connection to the natural world. They developed tools, mastered fire, and built communities. Their story is a testament to the resilience of the human spirit. And guess what? Those Stone Age skills? They still matter today. They teach us about adaptability, resourcefulness, and the importance of respecting our planet. Picture this. The sun rises, painting the sky with fiery hues. The dawn of a new day in the prehistoric world is a sight to behold. The air is crisp, and the sounds of the wilderness begin to stir. Birds chirp, insects buzz, and the distant calls of animals echo through the landscape. This is the world of our ancestors, a time when humans lived in harmony with nature, relying on their instincts and skills to survive. You wake up in a simple shelter, the sounds of nature, your alarm clock. The shelter is made of branches, leaves, and animal hides, providing just enough protection from the elements. As you step outside, the cool morning air greets you, and you take a moment to appreciate the beauty of your surroundings. The forest is alive with activity, and you know that today, like every day, will be a test of your resourcefulness and resilience. No time for coffee, you've got work to do. Your day begins with a series of tasks that are essential for your survival. You gather your tools, check your weapons, and prepare for the challenges ahead. Every member of the tribe has a role to play, and your contribution is vital. The sense of purpose and responsibility is ingrained in you from a young age, and you take pride in your ability to provide for your community. But you're not alone. You're part of a close-knit tribe, a community that relies on each other for survival. The bonds between tribe members are strong, forged through shared experiences and mutual dependence. You work together, hunt together, and celebrate together. The sense of belonging and camaraderie is palpable, and it gives you the strength to face the challenges of the day. The men might head out to hunt, tracking animals with incredible skill. They move silently through the forest, their senses attuned to the slightest movement or sound. Hunting is not just a means of obtaining food, it is a test of endurance, patience, and teamwork. The thrill of the chase and the satisfaction of a successful hunt are rewards in themselves, and the meat they bring back will sustain the tribe for days to come. Meanwhile, the women gather edible plants, their knowledge of the land encyclopedic. They know which plants are safe to eat, which have medicinal properties, and where to find them. Foraging is a skill passed down through generations, and it requires a deep understanding of the environment. The women work diligently, their baskets filling with fruits, nuts, and roots that will provide essential nutrients for the tribe. Children learn by watching, by doing, becoming one with their environment. They mimic the actions of the adults, practicing the skills they will need to survive. Play and learning are intertwined, and every experience is an opportunity to gain knowledge. The children are curious and eager, their minds absorbing the lessons of the natural world. They learn to respect the land, the animals, and the traditions of their people. Evenings are spent sharing stories around the fire, the flickering flames casting dancing shadows. The fire provides warmth and light, and it is a gathering place for the tribe. Stories are told, songs are sung, and wisdom is shared. The tales of ancestors, the adventures of the day, and the dreams of the future are woven into the fabric of the night. The firelight creates a sense of intimacy and connection, and the bonds between tribe members are strengthened. It's a hard life, but there's a beauty in its simplicity, in its connection to nature and community. The challenges are many, but the rewards are great. The sense of accomplishment, the joy of shared experiences, and the deep connection to the land and each other make it all worthwhile. This is the life of a hunter-gatherer, a life that is both demanding and fulfilling, a life that has shaped the course of human history. Let's talk survival basics. First, up fire. Imagine rubbing two sticks together for hours to create a spark. That was life or death. Fire meant warmth, cooked food and protection from predators. Next, shelter. Forget fancy houses, think natural materials, branches, leaves, animal hides. These shelters provided refuge from the elements, a place to rest and regroup, and of course food. Hunting and gathering wasn't a hobby, it was a necessity. Our ancestors knew how to track prey, identify edible plants, and make the most of every resource. Waste was not an option. These weren't just tasks. They were skills honed over generations, passed down through stories and experience. They were the keys to survival. Section 4. Ancient skills, modern relevance, adapting to survive. In the vast expanse of human history, our ancestors have always found ways to survive and thrive, no matter the circumstances. Their ingenuity and adaptability were key to their survival. You might be thinking, that's cool and all, Bear, but I'm not living in the Stone Age. I have modern conveniences, technology, and a completely different set of challenges. And you're right, you're not. Our world today is vastly different from that of our ancient ancestors. We have advanced in countless ways, from medicine to technology to the way we communicate and travel, but those Stone Age skills, they still matter. The essence of those skills lies in their fundamental principles, which are timeless. The ability to make tools from raw materials, to find food and shelter, to navigate the land. These are skills rooted in understanding and interacting with our environment. Why? Because they teach us about resilience, about adapting to whatever life throws our way. Think about it. Problem solving, resourcefulness, and the ability to think on our feet. These are not just survival skills, they are life skills. Determination. These are valuable assets in any situation. Whether you're trying to navigate a career change, deal with personal challenges, or simply get through a tough day, the mindset of our ancestors can be incredibly beneficial. The Stone Age was all about overcoming challenges. Every day was a test of survival, requiring quick thinking, adaptability, and a strong will to live. They faced predators, harsh climates, and the constant need to find food and shelter. And guess what? So is life today, just in different ways. We may not be hunting mammoths or building shelters from scratch, but we are navigating complex social structures, dealing with economic pressures, and facing environmental changes. We face pressure, uncertainty, and a rapidly changing world. The pace of modern life can be overwhelming, and the challenges we face can seem insurmountable at times. But the principles of resilience and adaptability remain the same. But by tapping into that primal instinct, that deep-seated human ability to adapt and overcome, we can face those challenges head-on. By remembering the lessons of our ancestors, we can find strength and inspiration to tackle whatever comes our way. So, next time you face a challenge, think back to those ancient skills and remember that you too have the power to adapt and survive. Section 5. Channeling your inner cave dweller, practical tips. So how do we apply these Stone Age lessons today? It's a fascinating question because, while we live in a world of modern conveniences, there's a lot we can learn from our ancient ancestors. They thrived in environments that were harsh and unpredictable, and their survival depended on skills and knowledge that we've largely forgotten. It's not about living in a cave, unless you want to, but rather about understanding the principles that guided their lives. These principles can help us lead more fulfilling and resilient lives today. It's about incorporating those core principles into your life. For instance, our ancestors were incredibly resourceful. They had to be. They used every part of the animals they hunted, and they found uses for every plant they gathered. This kind of resourcefulness can be applied to our modern lives in many ways. Start by appreciating the simple things: fresh air, clean water, and the natural world around you. These are the things our ancestors relied on, and they're just as important today. In our busy, technology-driven lives, we often forget to take a moment to breathe deeply and enjoy the world around us. The warmth of the sun is another simple pleasure that we often take for granted. Our ancestors spent a lot of time outdoors, and they understood the importance of sunlight for their health and well-being. Try to spend more time outside, soaking up the sun and enjoying the natural world. These are the things our ancestors relied on, and they're just as important today. Learn basic survival skills. You don't need to become a wilderness expert, but knowing how to build a fire, find your way with a compass, or treat a wound can be incredibly empowering. Learning these skills can give you a sense of confidence and self-reliance that is hard to find in our modern world. It's not just about being prepared for emergencies, but also about reconnecting with the natural world and understanding our place in it. You don't need to become a wilderness expert, but knowing how to build a fire, find your way with a compass, or treat a wound can be incredibly empowering. These skills can also be a fun and rewarding way to spend your time, whether you're camping with friends or just exploring the great outdoors. Building a fire is one of the most basic survival skills, but it's also one of the most important. It can provide warmth, light, and a way to cook food. Learning how to start a fire without matches or a lighter can be a fun challenge and a useful skill to have. Finding your way with a compass is another essential skill. In our modern world, we rely heavily on GPS and other technology to navigate, but what happens if those systems fail? Knowing how to use a compass and read a map can help you find your way in any situation. Treating a wound is another important skill. In a survival situation, you may not have access to medical help, so knowing how to clean and bandage a wound can be crucial. Even in everyday life, these skills can come in handy. Embrace resourcefulness. Think about ways to reduce waste, reuse items, and get creative with what you have. Our ancestors were masters of making do with less, and we can learn a lot from their example. Get creative with what you have. Instead of throwing things away, think about how they can be repurposed or reused. This not only reduces waste, but also encourages creativity and problem solving. Remember, our ancestors were masters of making do with less. They didn't have the luxury of modern conveniences, so they had to be resourceful and creative. By adopting some of these principles, we can lead more sustainable and fulfilling lives.